Hey, John here again. So I got this Craftsman snowblower, came in as a no start. It looks fairly new, probably within 5 years, 5 years old maybe less. But I hooked some juice up to it and primed it, turned the gas on. Everything's good. Nothing, right? This is a no start. So I went through that, and so the next thing to do is check for spark, and I checked for compression just to see if there's compression. Nowadays it's kind of hard to just pull on a cord there. You know, back in the day you could pull on a cord and but these engines are getting less and less compression, so I'll put a meter on it, see what kind of compression it has, check for spark, and then go right to what it probably is, because 90% of the time it's just gas related, and specifically carb related. It's probably just a gummed up carburetor that's sitting around all season waiting for snow. It's only October now, so at least this fella has, whoever brought it in, needed to check, see if it ran. It did run, I guess, before. Now it don't, so chances are it's carburetor related. So I guess the first thing you got to do is do the old sling blade test and check, see if there's gas in there, yeah? And there was. Even if it's old gas, this thing should bump, so I'm just going to check for spark first, and then take the spark plug out and check for compression. Let's see here. Make sure it's on. Where's the button? So as suspected, it's got spark. We'll see if it's got compression. I'm sure it does. Sounds like it. But again, it's hard to tell nowadays. Every year it seems like they make lower and lower compression on the engines, where you can't really tell by ear anymore, or even pulling the cord. Even pulling the cord, it seems kind of easy, you know. But we'll put it on a little meter, looking for maybe 60 pounds. That's close to 70 pounds, so that's plenty to start it. You hear Bodie going nuts. Alright, so I'm going to put this in, and then we're going to take, I believe this, you see, the next step I would do if this is like a Tecumseh or Snow King or something, you know, where the carburetor is, there's always a hole somewhere where you can stick your straw and hit the carburetor with some starting fluid. And just give it a toot. If it wants to bump over, then chances are there's something, you know, clogged up carburetor. But this is all enclosed. This is metal over here. This is plastic. But I think this is one of those engines that has, the carburetor has like kind of a snorkel on the top of it, so you can't really get to it. So we're gonna have to take all this crap off and get to the carburetor. This is the gas tank on a frame. So we're gonna take these bolts out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 bolts off, and I think we can get to everything. Bodie. I think we can get to everything after that. Jesus, you almost hit the camera. You hear him? Alright, so first order of business, we're going to get these, we could take this, now that can actually stay in there. We're going to get this throttle plastic off and this choke plastic off, and that's a special tool. It's called a flathead screwdriver. So let's see if we can get there's one. There's 2. They just kind of fit in. 10 millimeter. Special tools. So I'll go ahead and loosen, like I said, these 2. You got 2 on this side, 2 on that side for the gas tank. But be mindful, there's going to be some shoulders in here, some shoulder, they're not really bolts, they're just sleeves. So they might fall out of there. If you're outdoors or something in the leaves, you might lose one. Fully stop it. So I'm going to work on that. Like I said, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe that's it. 2 on the other side and 2 on the other side of the gas tank. Try to expedite this a little bit. Using the hand tool is a little slow. Oops, just lost that. So these are the little what was little guides, I guess you want to call them. They're not threaded or nothing. They're just for support. This is the threaded down here. So let's get to the other side. Oops, got the cameras on. So this hose, that's for your primer bulb right here. Just just pry that off. And the electrical connection for the kill switch, that's in there as well. But I think you can get this off of here where we can look at it a little better. Yeah. So here's the electrical connector there. Just take it out of the tabs. Pull them off the tabs. So this piece will come out. Now we can see the carburetor. This is the snorkel I was talking about. If you got a Phillips head, let's set this gas to the side here. On the top here, there's a Phillips head. Actually, if you have a straw with your starting fluid, because all I'm going to do is try to put starter fluid in a carburetor, and if it wants to start, then I know it's the carburetor. And this is all open here, but there's a plate here, and I don't have a straw. If you have a straw, you don't have to take this next piece off, but it's no big deal. It's just one little Phillips head screw, and oh, it's attached. It's attached to the hose here. It just unplugs on that little thing there. So now I can get to. You probably can't see that. But the carburetor. Let me see if I can get that. Zoom in. Well, let me lower the camera. So I can see the carburetor. I'm going to squirt it with some starter fluid. If it wants to bump, then it's just a matter of cleaning this carburetor. And in the past, I used to clean them, but nowadays I just throw a new carburetor on because they're so cheap. But this machine is fairly new. I'm going to you have to take the carburetor off anyway to clean it, but if it does look decent shape, I'll just clean it and we'll slap it back on. But let's see if it wants to bump over just from a squirt of the good stuff. Alright, so like I said, if you have a straw on this, it's possible to bend a straw into there without taking that one piece off. Ooh, that might be enough. Let's see if this thing burns. I think the throttle was on, right? Alright, so this is what I thought it was, just a gummed up carburetor. So let's get this carburetor off, see what the problem is, because it doesn't want to start now. And I bet you, if I feed it, it'll stay running. Yeah, that's all it is, gummed up carburetor. Alright, so taking the gas tank off, sitting right there. It's just the one little, undo your clip. That's your gas line there. If you got more than half a tank, you're going to have to empty some. I just got it sitting like that. It's pissing out a little bit, but it's less than a half a tank. So, and then you got your nipple on the other side. Again, if it's full, you're going to have to get rid of your gas. So now that's off. Next step would be, let's see if I can get you in a little closer to the carburetor. So that plastic piece with the rod on here, that's what we're going to take off next. This there's a little tiny spring. I don't know if you can see it in there. That's on underneath it. If you turn this, see, this thing's got a piece of metal there. It's going to be blocking. You see that little spring? That's easy to get off. Just let it dangle. And then this rod, the next piece. What the hell am I looking at here? Let's see if you can see that. Yeah, this metal rod is in this plastic shoe, but you're going to have to turn the shoe wide open. But in this case, it doesn't quite go far enough, so you're going to have to get in there and just give this a little bend, the rod here, and it'll pop up. See how that worked? So now the carburetor is ready to come off. I'll just let me zoom back out. Whoop, the other way. So if you have to take, if this stuff does pop off, it's a good idea to take pictures where these holes were. This is on the end, the little springs there. Even if you lose this little governor spring here, which is rusty, it's odd. It's in the second hole. You can either remember or just take pictures. And this is pretty self-explanatory, it can only go one way. So now we'll get our, where'd our 10 go? We'll get our 10 back out. Where the hell is my... Look, Jerry's been in here. Jerry the mouse. I see some acorns. That's unusual. So, like I said, this carburetor should slide right out of there as a whole. You're going to have this, actually let me do that now. Either way you do this, either take this little doohickey off the valve cover. Little spring here, just move it back. Put the wrong pliers for this. Fingertip. Get that breather off of there. Right. Loosen the other one up. Alright, so let's see here. What do we have? This plastic piece. There's a gasket in there, so if you think you're stuck to the carburetor, make sure you don't rip it. So that's the gasket, that's the little snorkel. Now the rest of this should just slide right off of there, yeah? What are we holding on? Nothing? Get your hands on full. Oop. That piece just goes, actually, there we go. So, so like I said, take pictures if you think you need to, because if your rods, you know, get out of place or whatever, you'll know where to put them back on. And this little intake manifold, I'm going to leave that on. Looks like the gaskets are in good shape. So let's take this over to the bench, see why it's clogged. Alright, so we're going to take this off. I'm just got it holding together here. So it can only go in one place, right? So we'll just, you see where it goes here? We'll just take that off the Z-bend. Just remember where it was. And it goes like this. So your Z-bend is over there. I don't know if I'm showing this. So just take it off. You can even take this end off if you feel confident. You could put that that bend back in the way it was. Right? What goes on the other side of the hose? Anyways, take pictures if you're unsure. So this is very clean. I can see some rust spots on the butterfly on the inside. So I'm assuming when I take this apart, it's going to be goofed up with the cruddies. She's on there pretty good. Oh my goodness! That was on there. Yep. I already know what it's going to look like in there. You see that gel stuff? I don't know if you can see it or not. It's going to be really apparent. Now I want to try to save this gasket because I do have this carburetor in stock, but I want to use this old one because I'm just going to clean this up. But I don't have the rubber gasket, and usually these are you could save these pretty easily. Huh? I was expecting a little more drama. Not so much drama. It's pretty clean in there. Way out of the woods yet. So when you move this pin, you're going to have the float pin on a spring. Not a spring, but it'll stay with your float. You just need to remove this pin. We've done this 1,000 times, right? Just don't lose it. Now we can slide this straight out. There's got to be something clogging this thing. Yeah. You see all that gel in there? I don't know if you can or not. Let me see if I can zoom in. I don't know if that's coming out on camera. That looks like Vaseline. It's hard to pick up on camera, but you see all that gook. So that's what's going on. So we're going to take our, you can even see some rust, gunk, all that crap there. So it's just clogged, I'm sure. So I'm gonna run a carburetor cleaner through here, and well, hold on a second. Let me get my shit together here. This is all gummed up here. So yeah, you can't even see in there. I wish the camera could zoom in there, but I could see in there. It's all gelled up. This is what's going on. This is all there is to it. And you can see a little bit of a gunk there. So once we clean that up, we're gonna be golden. Yeah, I tell you right now, wear some eye protection. It's a new cam, but because this stuff, it's gonna go right in your eye if you don't. It's dripping out a little now. There it goes. Whatever's in there, it's clear now. That's all it takes. Actually, I'm going to take this off. I'm going to take this this clamp off just to look in there, make sure everything's good, and I'll give it a proper douching. Get the high speed in there, because I'm sure that's gunked up too. Alright, so besides spraying every hole, get yourself a flathead thin one. There's a slot in there for a screwdriver flathead. You unscrew this booger. It's your high-speed jet. Chances are it's clogged too. Just empty the contents and go through and spray all this stuff out. And a lot of times I'll take a little needle, or a little piece of wire. You know, hone it out, spray it out, do all that business. And this side goes in first, not the thick side, but the thin side. And that's all you do is go around every orifice, little hole, give her a toot. Get rid of all that gel. Oh, right in the eye. Told you. See the rust? The rust in the crap in there. Oh wow. Comes right off, no problemo. See the rust? Or gel, whatever you want to call it. So this fella goes back in there, the pin goes in the hole. Place your pin in the hinge pin. Too much crap on there. Alright, so everything's clean, everything's good to go. Put this booger on. Not sure where this needs to be orientated, this clean out screw. So we're going to tighten it up a little bit, snug it up, and then if I need to adjust it, you know, because you want to have it so the carburetor, if you're working on it, so you can get this while it's on the machine, unloosen this to empty the carb for off-season stuff, but I don't know where it is yet, so we'll just snug this up for the time being, go place it on the machine, and let's put this back on. So now's the time, if you got shop there, to blow Jerry's mess out of there. It wasn't too bad, a couple acorns, but usually behind here, this your starter cover, whew, usually a mess, but in this case, not so bad, so we don't have to clean up too much. Alright, putting this back on, I just kind of, this is the mechanism here, just kind of got it sitting there. Get in two holes, and we want to move it up right about there. Alright, so this is what I was talking about. See this piece here? I don't know if you can see that or not. That's that clean out nut, so I'm just going to rotate it this way. So if you want to empty your bowl out, it'd be easy to get it right here. So we can tighten that up right there. Can't believe how tight that thing was. This next piece here, this is the snorkel gasket, still good shape. Slide this back to where it was. This needs to, well, it's probably blocked. It needs to plug back into the valve cover, right? Remember? Plug that in. That spring you could do with your fingers. Doesn't sit on much. Oh, I missed the hole. Yeah, I missed it. Missed the carburetor hole. Or in the bolts. There we go. Alright, what's next? Let's plug that back on. We got the primer bulb. Oh, we got our linkage to hook up. Oh, let's not forget the fuel. Where the hell is it? There it goes. Little curve part goes up, in this case. Goes towards the fuel tank. Here are pliers. So memory card full, camera shut off. So I don't know where we were, where we left off, but you have to put the rod back on. You know, you turn, now this is probably in the way, this little snorkel piece with the Phillips went back on. Then again, I don't know where it quit, but the rod and the spring, don't forget that, you have to turn it, you know, wide open, snap the rod back in there, like we took it off. What am I looking at now? Can you see that? Yeah. Just basically, just bend it, tweak it just a bit, pops right in, and then a little pair of needle nose I used to get it in that little tiny hole for the little tiny spring. And then I put this cap on, no problem. And I put the fuel line on, got it secured down there. You can see it's not secured here. Get your spring down. Now, I'm just going to rest this, I don't know if I need a primer or not, rest this gas tank up on top, and we'll try to start this, see if it starts. I guess it would be a good idea to, I don't know if you can see this up here, this thing, this little rod that connects to your handlebars. You can loosen that rod up so you can move these cables and stuff, but I was able to sneak under there, but in case it's in your way. So, what do we have left? I will hook up the primer bulb just to get some stuff in there, but I'm not going to put everything together yet. Just put that on there. You don't need to hook up the electrical, the kill switch, because this type of switch is, you know, when you plug this in, when you take it out, they come together and that shorts it out. This separates it, but with the, where the hell is it? They're separated when you take them out, so you don't have to put that. All right, so let's see if this thing will prime. Gas line, everything was empty, so let's see if this thing will start. Everything's just kind of sitting here loosey-goosey. Probably need to choke it, maybe. I don't know. Put pliers. Chokety choke. Alright, I'm satisfied. Let's finish putting it back together. So that's all it is, just a gummed up carburetor. So let's finish this chore here and we'll be done. Alright, let's see if we can do it this way. Just kind of feed things over there. Alright, so everything's loose still. We do have to feed this kill switch back into its proper place. Probably looks like it went over it, but there's two little tabs in here that hold this wire. You can see where the indents were, so just put them back in place. Alright, so we've got the primer hooked up. Let's not forget our little doohickeys here. Right. Put them fellas back in there. You have to line your choke. Get your choke stuff. There we go. Something like that, right? We'll go get the other side. Alright, so we got everything bolted back up. This machine should start up and run, but I was just thinking about it. Let's say you prime it and you start it and it runs, and you want to go hit the high throttle and it wants to stall conk out. So again, when you're cleaning carbs, if you don't do that center pin, the high speed, if you don't take that mechanism out and clean all that out, because those on the high speed, the orifice, the little the gas flows through them little pinholes, that generally gets gummed up. So if you don't do that, and that's your problem, it won't go on high. You have to clean your high speed. But that being said, like I think I said earlier in the video, so this is a new carburetor. It's 13 bucks for this thing. So, and it is the carburetor for that, but cleaning it did the trick, or at least I think it did the trick. So if you don't want to go through all that cleaning it, you saw how easy it is to take it off. Just slap the new one on, bolt it up, and you're good to go. These come all set, prepared. There's no tuning them or nothing. So they are cheap enough just to do that, but because this machine is new, I figured it's just gelled up gas. Why waste a carburetor when that one's decent? So let's see if this thing will start. Let's see. Primer. Let's see here. Run over that way. Choke. I don't know if we're gonna have to choke it. Where's that? Nope. Unplugged it. Unplugged it. Let's see if it'll pull. Yeah, it'll pull, I'm sure. I don't want to break the cord. It's got electric start, so might as well use it. Well, there you have it. Simple. Half hour, done deal. These engines are, I think this is a 8 horsepower, 208 cc, something like that. I didn't really look it up. Not that it matters. The carburetor is at fault here. It doesn't matter what engine it is. 8 horse, 5 horse, 13 horse. It's all the same business. The carburetor is usually the culprit. Again, on off-season stuff. This thing was put away whenever. Didn't drain, whoever owned it probably didn't drain the gas, probably didn't do anything, just put it in the shed or wherever, garage, try to start it the next season or now, and it didn't start, and that's what's going on, just gelled up gas. So anyways, that was a quick video. So anyways, thanks for watching. See you next time.